Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 25 of the Smite Update. My name is Octane Pro, and joining me from his pillow is Wristy. Wristy, how's it going, sir?
Well, I'm awake.
That doesn't mean he's here. That just means he's awake, you know.
Yeah.
Well, it's all good. It's all good. Wristy's been super busy recently, so we do appreciate him making an appearance on our lovely show here. Anyways, guys, this is episode 25 of the Smite Update. If you are unfamiliar with it, this is a weekly show that is done every Monday night at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, hosted by myself and Wristy. We start out the show with a patch review of the recent patch. And then we go ahead and go over, little details. The patch has been out for about 6 days, give or take now. So we've had quite some time to play it, look at some of the adjustments that they made. So we can go ahead and now give a valid opinion on it. We then go ahead and jump into kind of an eSports update, discussing the latest eSports results from this past weekend for the Hi-Rez tournaments and other tournaments. And then finally we jump into some community content. So make sure that you guys do check it out. Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and kind of move into it. Wristy, I know you've been busy with a lot of work, but have you had a chance to play much of Smite?
I've been playing. I played like 2 days of it. But I found a lot of things that I was like, why have they done that? And it's always, when you go and you go, I wouldn't have done it that way. Sort of things.
Sure, yeah. Sure. Well, we can get into that when we get into it. But outside of that, what really in Smite have you been playing? Is there a certain game mode or gods or anything like that?
I tried that new mode. Well, they're new ranked.
Yes, the solo mastery.
Yeah, I'm in two views about it, because basically it's ranked but without the yellow.
Sure.
And
sure.
What also I'm not sure if I like or don't like it. I'm kind of a bit two minds. Is the fact that you need to get your mastery level up on a certain god before you can use it. So actually buying the god pack means nothing.
Well, it doesn't mean anything when it comes down to... I mean, we get more into it as we move into it from here.
Yeah, that's about it.
Anyways, before we go ahead and jump into the patch notes, guys, I would like to point you guys in the direction of one of our sponsors. Check out Tweaked Audio. Please go over to tweakedaudio.com and purchase some amazing noise-canceling earbuds. And while you're there, use the promo code OctanePro, and that's actually what Wristy and I are both using, is Tweaked Audio earbuds, and that'll get you 33% off, plus free shipping anywhere in the world. So go over there, check it out. Pretty cool site. They have 7 different styles, 6 different colors, and they're a pretty badass set of earbuds for the price point of just under $30. Plus, there's a lifetime warranty. So go check it out, tweakedaudio.com. So without further ado, I'm going to throw it over to Sleepyhead Wristy to go ahead and introduce...
You're not going to let me live it down now, are you?
Introduce the newest god to Smite.
So we got Thanatos, the Hand of Death, coming in. Basically the Grim Reaper of Smite. I literally, as soon as I looked at him, I went, it's Grim Reaper, but with a fancy do. That's pretty much what I thought. It's got some interesting skill set. It's more like a warlocky style kind of aspect that they'd use some of his health to use some of his skills and reduce kind of the mana cost. So he doesn't really seem like he's mana heavy.
No,
you do find that sometimes, like where you get his ultimate's kind of like Freya's ultimate, where you're like, in an emergency, please use it, and then you realise. My health has dropped a little too low. I can't use it. Crap.
Right, because there's that build-up to it. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
You suffer a bit from it, but and so on. So his passive, Harvester of Souls. Enemy gods within his ultimate range or execute threshold are revealed to Thanatos. The ultimate adds like an instant kill range. So whenever you're within that, you get revealed. I didn't actually see him get revealed on the map, but you get like this indicator pop up on them.
Correct. It's like this red glow per se that goes around the enemy opponent.
It's kind of but it's funny because we also see it as well when he uses his ultimate, and it's like, oh crap, here he comes.
Yep.
So you just try and run as much as you can. Dealing the killing blow to enemies also empowers Thanatos, granting him health based on their maximum health. 20% for the god, and 10% for minions. So you've always got some like sustain. Think of it as like a permanent Boomba's mask.
Sure,
That's
sure.
kind of where I go from in there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay. Death Scythe. Thanatos flings his scythe at an enemy, dealing damage and an additional 10% of the target's health. So that's basically like a mini Soul Reaver for on the skill. Just throw it out, bang, 10% of the health. It actually works really well.
Dude, it's so good. It's kind of like Chunga, like when she was first introduced with her, I guess it's called like the Crescent Moon ability, or I forget the exact name. But oh my gosh, the rage is so good.
I know, but you throw it out and it's just like bang, there's all the health. You just suddenly just see a massive loads of health go, especially even on tanks. Because I've walked up to like a few tanks going, "Oh, you're low, bang! There goes my extra like passive skill. You're dead." It's quite funny, especially at the like low level fights as well. Even at the high level fights, it's not so bad. But when it hits the enemy, it slows them for 3 seconds. It heals you on 50% of the damage dealt. Consumes 10% of your health while it's used. But to be honest, the healing that it gets back kind of balances itself out. So it kind of, as long as you've got enough to use it, you'll get most of that healing back. And it's not too bad. And the healing is 20%. Now, the weird thing about this is that it stops at the first target.
Correct.
So it's not like a lane clearer. It's just like, okay. So you'll probably put like one skill in this at the start, and then that's it until later on. It's just it's a bit weird. I'd have liked to have seen it gone through. Bit more
okay, kind of like okay, I understand what you
mean. Well, like all the other ones.
To hit all the other. Yeah, I mean, not every god in Smite necessarily needs a lane clear, and I think Thanatos is definitely one of the gods where like they're not hoping that he has one. The way that they have him built, I mean, he's an assassin. It's not like Loki, for example, has a lane clear either, you know. So I can understand it from an assassin perspective, because you don't want him to be a laner. He's not necessarily a laner, but no, it's a valid point. It's kind of it could go one way or the other.
Yeah, it's one of the ones that you can look at it from a couple of point of views, and it can go, well, it works for this, and then maybe it works for this, and it's like a lot of things in this patch that they've done it. I'm very torn. Let's see where I go. So the second skill, Scent of Death, basically is steroid ability. Steroid senses death, removing and gaining immunity to slow effects, and gaining movement speed and physical protection. So basically beats, well, not speeds as such, a minor version of sprint for you, and then with a little bit.
It's a different way to look at an escape.
Yeah. I do like the way they've kind of used this mechanic. His movement speed bonus doubles when moving towards an enemy god within the instant kill threshold of his ultimate. So if you can find someone, you'll actually move quicker straight at them.
Correct, yes. Yeah, it's kind of a weird mechanic. Like when I was watching the introduction video that Hi-Rez Bart put together, and it was like, yes, when you use this ability and you're moving towards an enemy, you move faster, but when you look away, you're moving slower. And I was like, what? I was like, that's so weird. It's a weird mechanic, but I mean, it makes sense. I mean, if you're an assassin.
Well, it stops you being really defensive. It stops you being like Loki that, oh crap, pop stealth, boom, gone. It's like, no. If you want to be killing people. So it kind of makes you choose what you want to do and makes, position. It's one of them positional things as well, isn't it? Consumes 5% of your maximum health, so pretty negligible and not too bad for it as well. The penetration goes up from like 15 to 35, so that's that'll get quite substantial when you get all the way up to the top, and speeds up to 30%. Bonus to low health, it's the same, so 30%. So if you go to someone, you'll be like 60% movement speed. I'll be like, hey buddy. Tap him on the shoulder. Yeah, remember me.
Yep.
Now, I quite like it. I still don't find it like a priority. Like, I'd go for this third skill first, then possibly this or Scythe, and then go back to this.
Sure.
It's kind of... the movement speed is probably the only reason I'd get it. Any time. Just because you need to catch up to enemy gods. So, yeah, I'd get, like, the damage and skills, then this, then Death Scythe, probably. The third ability, Soul Reap, basically is cone attack. Thanatos swings his scythe out, dealing physical damage and slicing enemies. So it's a cone attack and Hades silence all in one.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Yep. It works out quite nicely that way. but I like the fact that they've done it for once there. His movement speed is reduced while he's doing this attack. So it's not like everyone you can throw out all your skills and then, well, I haven't slowed down, so I'm still here. I can, it actually slows him down a bit, so it's another one I quite... An interesting view that they've done on it. Consumes 5% of your maximum health, again, and deals damage from like 100 to 300. Now, what was the scaling on it? So it scales better. It's the base damage isn't as good as the Death Scythe, but it scales better into the long game anyway. But to be honest, with Death Scythe only hitting one target, I generally go for the Soul Reap kind of first.
Okay.
Well, no, I'll get 1 point in Death Scythe, then go the Soul Reap, then go Center Death, and then so on and so forth.
Sure, yeah. I mean, from what I've heard, just a little stuff here and there. A lot of people will start out with his 1 and 3, depending on as they start to level, and kind of leave the scent of death as something that they kind of progress into. But like Baby Boom was saying in chat, they found that the 3 is kind of hard to hit, and I can understand that.
Yeah, he says it doesn't hit the area it should.
Sure.
I didn't play him enough to kind of work it out because it's so hard to get hold of him.
Sure. Oh, yeah, definitely.
It was an interesting jungle because when I did it in like a practice, I was like, oh, they might not make this. And then as soon as I went into an actual game, I went, well, this is a piece of piss.
Yeah, right?
It's Bumba's Mask, plus his passive. Then you just throw out like a red buff, and it's just like, well, goodbye camps. I did find, well, I'd only done him like a couple of times, and I was like, without the extra speed, I kind of felt lacking. So I did pick up a Blink once and tried that one, but other than that.
Thanatos is kind of interesting. I mean, I don't know. Have you looked at many builds for him or not really?
No, I've just tried just the jungle. Literally, the first game I got, they went, do you want a jungle? I went, okay. Yeah, why not? It wasn't too bad, apart from the lanes kind of fed, but I didn't really help out because I wasn't quite sure what I was doing. But I did get like a level 1 kill at the Harpies, so it was fun that way. It was once you throw out that scythe, it was like,
Scythe is so good.
The damage.
It's so good. I really like it. I mean, some of the things I look at is like if I'm gonna go jungling, I'll go with like a Bumba's Mask, and then it's kind of up in the air. Some people will go directly into your Warrior Tabby or even into Heartseeker. I've seen for him for like a jungle style as just starter items, and then from there it's kind of situational. But then I've seen people go like if they're laning with him or depending. Some people will even go with a Ninja Tabby and then go into something like a Void Blade. Because of being into lane, you are having to deal with a little bit of a counter there. But a lot of people though are starting to like the what is that? John Toon's Wrath. I'm seeing that a lot on him. A lot. I don't know if you've noticed that at all or seen that in there.
It would stack with the penetration on his second ability. It'd be quite nice as well with a cooldown. I actually tried. It didn't feel very good, but I tried the Heartseeker with Witchstone without boots.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen Witchstone that without boots is very good. Or if you end up going with boots and go with like Boots of Celerity, I've seen it because the Boots of Celerity aren't super beneficial except for maybe like an early game type of like gold increase and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was just one of the ones I thought, let's do something interesting. Let's sign up for the boots. I know I can move faster without it. It was definitely weird. I felt my damage was lacking, but then it might have just been because I was new to it. I wasn't quite sure where I should go with the guy.
Sure.
Now the ultimate, this ultimate's more of a cross between Freya's and Thor's. I think it moves like a Freya, but has the charge up and the dunk like Thor, which is quite funny. Hovering death. Thanatos flaps his wings, goes airborne for 5 seconds, unable to be hit. During this time, he moves unimpeded with additional speed and can click and pounce to his target location, dealing damage. Enemies below a threshold are instantly killed. All of the others are stunned, consuming 15% of Thanatos' health. Damage is not that well. I wouldn't say that high. It's from like 90 to 230, but it's more of an instant kill ability. So it's, I think your Soul Reap actually does more damage. Yeah.
Well, it does. I mean, I guess my thought to you, I'll throw it over to you. What is your thought of his ultimate? As it is unique, there isn't really one just like it at this point.
I sat there and I thought, Do you imagine all them games where you get that perfect Kraken and then you land on top and you get a 5-man deicide?
Oh, I know. Well, that's the thing with stacking properly, and if he's jungling across the map, it's something that could be super super effective, which is kind of cool. You know what I mean? Like as you talked about, if you have a Poseidon using a cripple on a few people, he goes ahead and uses a his ultimate, and then using Thanatos' ultimate is really cool because it all comes down to like the kill threshold and how low are they, and it determines an instant kill. So I like it. It's kind of cool how you jump up in the air and you're kind of like a Superman style, and you're kind of.
I love how it goes black and white.
Yeah, it's kind of different. You're kind of like screaming across the map per se. It's definitely a different style. I wasn't expecting that out of his ultimate at all.
Yeah, I don't know if the Soul Reaper stacks. Not Soul Reaper, the Scent of Death stacks with like the speeds.
Speed heading towards the direction. Towards,
I wouldn't have said because the Scent of Death is only 6 seconds and the charge up time's a little bit hefty on the ultimate, so you'd only get it for like a second or so.
I doubt they stack, in all honesty. Like they may, but I don't know if that's like good coding or that was their strategy behind it at all. Sure.
But no, I like. As soon as I saw it, I went at 40%. I went, that's ridiculous. Instant kill at 40%. I went, that's worse than Freya when she's level 1 and blows you up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not level 1, level 5. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether to go if I think it was too strong or not. The charge up on it is ridiculously long. The amount of times that I'm like, oh, quick, use it as an escape and get out, and I'm like, come on.
Well, that's the thing. It's kind of like the same thing as like Thor's escape. Like you have that build up to it. You know what I mean? Like he starts to crouch down, swing his hammer, and then he takes off. So I feel like it would be too good if it was like instant cast, whoosh, boom, up in the air. So because remember, he does kind of have an escape with his second ability. So
there's a lot of times though, like I said, when you think, right, I need to kind of get out of here, or I need to use my ultimate. And you're fine for the second just before you hit the button, and then your health just gone down too low, and it's like, but it's off cooldown, but I still can't use it. It's one of them ones you might want to have like a meditation or the other one, shard, just so you know you can always use it. Bang that, hit your ultimate, and you've always got the health.
Oh, sure.
So it could be something like that to look at.
Sure.
But no, I like the guy. I like the concept actually. It makes it interesting. I'm no longer looking there going, I've not got enough mana for stuff.
I never, ever on him have to worry about mana, which is the interesting thing. I feel like he's like one of the first gods for me. Like with my play style, when I do play him, I'm like, oh, I just ignore mana. And just kind of play it out. It's kind of cool. And I'll go ahead, guys, and show, let me go ahead and show that up on screen real quick. Just go ahead and swap over to in-game. Here is Thanatos. He kind of has this like archangel type of look to him, I feel like. Just with the way it looks with like the wings and just the style of them. So that is kind of his default skin. The standard, they're calling it the standard Thanatos. And then here is the second skin, which is Soul Harvester, which is a little bit more like gold kind of holy look, I guess, to it. You can see some of the changes that are made there. It's kind of a reskin almost, but you will see like his wings are gold. And the rest of his ability, black has kind of been substituted out for the gold look. So, there is Thanatos. Any last comments to make on him?
No, I like him. I literally think, where they don't want to remove the mana bar. I feel it's just like they've done it so it's completely irrelevant.
Sure.
They've technically removed it, but without removing it.
Sure. Yes, so I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Other than that, no, I like him. I'd like his scythe to go through and hit a couple of targets, maybe like do 10% toward the targets, or just one, like the Soul Reaver does. But other than that, yeah, this feels good.
Yeah, pretty sweet there. Moving on from there, we have a few new skins. I have a few of them available that I can show you guys. First off, let me go ahead and swap over to Hades. So this is Hades' default skin, as we've kind of seen in the past, nothing too crazy. And his newest one, which is Nightmare, just came out with this newest patch. Really cool. I feel like the Nightmare skin could have been Hades' original skin. Like, it looks really, really badass, really cool. Have you seen the skin at all yet, Wristy?
Yeah, I looked at it and I was like, oh, this is really cool. I like the horns and everything. I can't remember. I did literally look at it and go, I know where this is copied from. but I can't remember it off the top of my head now.
Yeah.
But it looks. I feel that I'm not sure if we're going for the more Asian style again. When I look at it, I'm like, are we going that way or not?
I don't think so. I don't think it's like we talked about with like Odin. How
Odin was a bit much.
A little close, but I don't think so with the Hades. I mean, we're not seeing a real ton out of it.
It looks good. I like where you can't see his face.
Yeah.
And it's just this beady eyes. It's like, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
cool. I'm going to kill you.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So there's the Hades there. Additional skins that we did see that came out here was the Golden Bastet, Golden Hercules, and finally the Golden Chunga. People did actually talk about a Golden Ares coming out in the next month or so. So that was pretty cool. We also had some voice packs. Thanatos, Ra. Ra, actually, I'm surprised seeing a voice pack for him. I have not heard it yet, so I'm going to have to check that out. And then also Vamana, including Little Mana, also got voice pack as well. So some cool changes there. I will have to poke in here and kind of bring it up. Did you see, Wristy, that Erez commented on us seeing leagues in the next month?
No. We got leagues?
Yeah. He confirmed leagues in the next month.
You can thank us because we've pestered the crap out of him.
I know. For the past like several weeks. Yeah, right. I'm interested to see how they implement it because I don't know if we're going to see leagues in a casual setting. I think the leagues are only going to be in the solo conquest, which kind of sucks because I guess that's where you would want to see. I mean, that's where the competitive side is, but like, it's I don't know.
I for the solo master or the old solo ranked. Yep. I've never been too fond of draft. On it, actually. It was one. I don't know where you're going with it, but I know when I first thought about it, I was like, "This would be so cool when we get draft in it." And then as soon as we got draft, I was like, "This sucks. I hate it." I wish they did the way like Dota. The first time you pick the first person to pick the god and lock it down for like each team secures it kind of that way. It'll be a bit weird because obviously people would rush and get the gods that they want.
Sure.
But it also helps with some of the effect where you're like, you play this god because this is what you're playing. Most people kind of like generally go towards gods that they like anyway, like in like the casual ones. But in Conquest, in the ranked, it always feels a bit weird. Everyone it feels a little forced sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, yeah.
Well, I guess my thought is with leagues, how they're going to apply. Most likely, they'll apply it to solo mastery, and the reason I say that is because leagues are very hard to balance when people can join parties and go ahead and jump into a game. Like myself, let's say with a league setting, like let's say Wristy is Masters level if there's a league, and I'm Silver level. It's going to be really difficult to all of a sudden put us into a game together and make the entire game balanced. So. Yeah. As you see in other games, League of Legends, Dota, StarCraft 2. Good example, StarCraft 2, just because that's where I have the most knowledge. The league process with StarCraft 2 is based off of solo play most of the time because of the fact of it's easier to balance it with, it's easier to balance an individual, especially with Smite. And so I really see them doing leagues within the solo mastery. And somebody actually commented in chat and said, hey, can we go over what leagues are? And sure. So in a lot of games, a lot of competitive games, you will see something called leagues. And what that is exactly what it sounds like, where we will see different tiers and different brackets of competitive play. So you could have the Bronze League starting out at like the noobs, the people that are just starting out, people that have a few games under their belt that are just learning the game. And then from there you could do, now this is just an example, I have no insight, you could go Bronze, then you could do Silver, Gold, I'm just going off of StarCraft, Platinum, you could go into Diamond, Masters, and Grandmasters. And so what happens in a league is that you only really play people in your league. So let's say you're just starting out, you're in Bronze. Well, let's say you're kicking butt in Bronze, okay? You'll slowly move up the ranks in Bronze. So you'll go from like rank 50th Bronze, so all of a sudden, boom, you could be up to rank 10. And then you could be rank 1, and then bam, all of a sudden, you're up into Silver. Or you could completely skip over like the top 3 and go right into Silver. It all depends, and I guess I'm not sure how they're going to do it, and I'm just theory crafting here, but I assume it's going to come down to your kill, death, and assist ratios to count towards that, because it's really hard to be like, okay, you won this game, you go up 10 points. or you lost this game, you go down 5 points. You know what I mean, Wristy? Like, they got to take into fact some of the in-game statistics when you do play.
I'd like them to take a leaf out of Tier Master, because Tier Master look at a lot of different things, especially like they've got different rankings, especially for supports and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'd definitely like to Hi-Rez to actually take a leaf out of their book and just have a look how they sort out the stats and stuff, because then you can obviously, it's not just based off of wins and losses, which it kind of is at the minute, and it still feels like it sucks.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it'll be good. It will also give us more of that, like, as we've always been saying, that incentive to actually play a bit more. Because at the minute, unless you're going to get the top 20, you're like, why?
Well, I will say, I mean, and I feel like, and I feel really bad to say this, but I feel like Hi-Rez might take the easy road and just go, okay, we're going to break the different leagues into different tiers depending on your elo. And it's like, okay, the bracket elo.
It's a cop-out.
It is. And I'm really concerned if they're going to go, okay, 0 to 500 is bronze, 500 to 1,000 is silver, 1,000 to 1,500. You know what I mean? Like, and I want to be like, like, I hope they don't do that. Like, they need to develop their own system. Fresh, new, spend the time, make your devs work.
I know what I'd like to see them do right at the start. Reset everything. Everybody starts at the first...
Well, they did say there will be a reset with leagues.
Yeah.
There will be a reset with leagues. They just had, same thing with when they introduced the solo mastery system. They reset it there. There's going to be another reset when they do leagues. So it's kind of up in the air. Wristy and I are just kind of theory crafting about the idea of leagues, and we'll bring you guys more as we get closer.
I'd love it. It'd be cool. I might actually play a lot more.
There you go. Now talking more and more about like incentive to play. So that I'm not going to go through all. There are like 100 points. So we're not going to go through every single change that came up this week because we'd be here for 4 hours. So we are going to kind of go through and generalize a lot of this stuff. So there were a bunch of changes. They got rid of the competitive tab and then went ahead and moved it over to the normal tab. And because they didn't want people to feel that separation, like competitive. Oh, I can't touch the competitive tab. So they put it all on normal. So normal, you have, it's right in type of the normal tab. I guess they got rid of casual and put normal in there. On top of that, we have region locks. So yay, sucks for Wristy because now we can't queue together. But we can go ahead and change it, I guess, right? You could change. Yeah. You could change to be on the better servers.
Well, isn't it? It's just the preferred server. You can still play across.
Oh no, it's locked.
Is it really?
Locked. It is true region locks. So if you select EU, you're not going to touch NA whatsoever. Like it's true region locks right now.
Players will find they will get better if they switch to the other region.
Correct. So like if you need to, hang on, let me see here. Now configured so the players will only get matches within their preferred region.
Ah, so you can switch the region.
Oh, yes,
but you have to.
Yeah, you can switch regions. Yes, you can
Yeah.
switch regions completely. But what I mean by that is, like, if you queue in the EU queue, you're getting EU players and you're getting EU servers. You're not going to get the mix match that we've seen. Now, if Wristy goes, oh, Octane Pro came on, I want to play with him. Let me go ahead and swap my server and go ahead and party up with him. Now I can. My interesting thought is, I'm on NA and you're on EU, and will it allow us to join party, or will it say you're on separate servers?
It should do.
It should.
Go, yeah.
It should.
But it'd be funny if we both had preference of like our region, who would get the preference. It would probably be the party leader as always, but yeah. If I could force you to play on an EU server, I would, because it'd be so funny. It's bad enough as it is on the NA server.
So we went ahead and the Mastery Worshipper system was revised. You can go from rank 1 up to 100 worshippers. And with that, the order, and the interesting thing is I had to look at the notes to reference this because it doesn't say it anywhere in game that I found. It doesn't tell you the different orders for the Mastery and Worshippers. So you have Acolyte, and how do you even say the second one?
Neophyte or something like that. Neophyte.
And Adept, or whatever.
Yeah.
So you have your 3 different levels. And so if you're just starting... Now, there's actually a 4th one. There's a Nun level. So it's like Nun, Acolyte, Neophyte, and then Adept. And from my understanding and from everything I found is that you need to go ahead and have 50 worshippers, which is the Adept. And you have to have... So, to get Adept. Now, with Adept, you need to have 12 Adept gods to play in the Conquest Solo Master that we talked about there. And believe it or not, Wristy, I do not have it.
No, I didn't. I had to get one more god up. I was one short at the time.
I think I'm around 9 or 10 right now. But what really frustrates me about this is that, well, there's two different things. First thing that frustrates me is this isn't set up for when you first created your account. And I understand they just created this system, but they have to have statistics somewhere from when, like, I started creating my Smite account. Reason being is because, like, I should have, like, 40 of the freaking adept gods because of how long I've been playing Smite. Like,
well, yeah, it's literally when every god come out, we hammered them when we first had them, and then we haven't probably touched them since.
So it kind of sucks that this only takes effect post when they started to, like, start to track this stuff more. Well, start not to track it, should I say, but display it for us. So it kind of sucks. The cool thing is, though, which is kind of nice, is I'm now worship grinding, and I think I've had more fun being like, okay, tonight all I'm playing is Agni because I need to go ahead and get Agni up in worshippers. I feel kind of like I'm playing a little bit of WoW. Like, hey, I need to grind a little bit. So it's kind of interesting. I do like it. Any last comments there for you on the new Mastery Worshipper system?
Apart from it's pointless, I just feel it's kind of like it's thrown out there just to give people, oh yeah, you've got a little bit of pointage rather than just going one level here, one level here. It's basically like they've thrown in another 3 or 4 sets of levels. It's just I felt like it was unnecessary. Okay. It's alright though, but now I'm sitting there going, right, before I knew how many I'd mastered, like when you scroll through the gods, like mastered, then you've got the bars. Now it's like, I've got loads of adapts, acolytes, and you're like, yeah, but which one's which?
Yep.
Where am I at? So it's a bit confusing because the bar goes up as well, goes up to acolyte, fills all the way up, then goes back down again, and it's just like,
yeah, they need to have an explanation on the side and kind of like a level up bar almost. You know what I mean? Like they need to show you, okay, like you're starting out here on a bar, and now, okay, you've gotten to Acolyte. Okay, you've reached this level. Now Neophyte is next one, and so on and so forth. Because there's no easy way, especially as a new player, there's no easy way to differentiate it and figure it out. Like, you literally have to go read the notes, and you should never have to do that. So what happens, guys, is you get 12 gods at that adept level or higher. And from there, it goes ahead and allows you to do the Conquest Solo Master. So what that is that you can go ahead into a Conquest game, you can queue up, you get into it. You can only queue up solo, hence the title. Once you get into that game and you go for your picks, it is draft mode with 1 ban. And the interesting thing, though, is when you go to pick, you can only pick the gods that you have gotten Adept or higher. So Adept or Mastery or Legendary. Which is interesting because people have talked about, well, what if all these people don't have the great, have a great combination? What's going to happen? What if nobody has a tank available? Well, that's the whole thing about, like, right now the meta of the Conquest Solo Master is we don't want people to come into a ranked or competitive game and just pick a god so it's the best combination overall. They want people to come into these ranked solo master style game and be playing gods that they have mastered, so that you should be really good at your god. And so the combinations are going to be really wacky, I think, for the first like 6 months until it plateaus out and enough people have enough of the gods. What are your thoughts on the whole thing, Wristy?
Yeah, I thought it was disgusting when I first got into it. I got in, I didn't notice that bit on the patch, and I went, someone said pick up Agni, and I was like, why is it blacked off? What? I've got the pack. What? Why? Why? Because it's not that I wanted it. It's because somebody else wanted it. And I feel you've got a restriction anyway that you've got to master 12 gods.
Yeah.
And it's,
they need to show your teammates which gods that you've mastered, I feel like.
Yeah, it's really weird because
they don't know who you are, and they'll be like, Wristy, pick up Agni, and you're like, I don't have it. Wristy, pick up Ymir, I don't have him. And it's like, you know what I mean?
You should. Yeah, it's a weird one to kind of do. It just feels there's two ways to there's 2 ways to look at it. There's 2 ways that you want. Obviously, you want people that, like you were saying, that have mastered, at least played the god they're going to use or pick up. But you also suffer with the fact that I only want to pick it up for somebody else to use it. I'm not actually going to play it, so that kind of sucks. But then...
But you can't switch and play one that you haven't mastered either.
I know, it feels wrong. I think they should probably take out that one point. It's nice. It makes people have obviously actually had to play it, but it also feels kind of weird at the minute. Like you say, eventually when it plateaus out and everybody kind of grinds out all the masteries, it'll help. But it'll be just another thing to get people in. Obviously, it'll frustrate a lot of people now, because to be honest, even in like solo ranked, when people didn't have the god packs, we were like, go away, come back when you got more gods.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I was like that. I was like, there's a god pack, or at least just grind out the gods. Now they've got to either get the god pack or the favor and grind the gods out. It's a lot to ask a player sometimes just to get into the rank, but then again, it'll probably increase the quality of players once they're in, because they've at least had to actually play the gods.
Yeah.
Sometimes. I like the fact that the worshipper rewards are increased by 20% as well, just for the queue.
Yes. Yep.
So once you get it in there, you can, if you want to start grinding out and get up to your legendary skin, it'd be a lot better. But yeah.
Pretty sweet. Well, let's go ahead and jump into the general section, and I'll toss it over to Wristy.
Okay, so generals, actives can now be sold for a refund. Yes.
If you haven't left the fountain area.
Well, yeah. It's as soon as I saw that, I went, ooh, it took them long enough, but now we're there. The users, as long as the following conditions are met, the user leaves the store volume. Basically, if you don't leave the fountain and you haven't used it, so you haven't just sit there, bought meditation and popped it for some weird reason. I'm surprised they say about they haven't used it and leave the thing, because if you've used it, you've clearly accidentally used it. There'd be no other reason to use it in like the fountain and stuff.
Yeah.
A variety of minor usable improvements have been made to the party management. They got rid of the silly party button that was up there. I can't remember what they've done to it now. I did look earlier, but I've forgotten. So I think it looks a bit better than it. Have you used it too much?
A little bit, not a ton.
Yeah. They fixed an issue in Arena in which players would get stuck behind the portals. Really? We could get stuck? That'd be kind of funny.
Are they talking about behind the towers, or...?
No, it's saying behind the portals. You know the one where the minions go through?
Oh, seriously? I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, that'd be funny. And also fixed an issue where you would disappear from player mesh when mesh is behind a player. I have no idea. So in other words, the camera fucked up.
Sounds like it. Sounds like
it. With that. Yeah. All new gods now have a category. Now this is kind of weird. All right.
Okay.
They have the point of view where, I don't know if they want the point of view yet, where gods have one specific role, and yet they're categorizing all gods into one specific role. So all gods are now categorized into one and only one role, chosen from the following: hunter, assassin, warrior, tank, mage, and support.
Oh, are we playing an MMO right here? I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, well, yeah. It kind of feels like, well, you've gone away from having a specific role for a class, and yet you're now saying there's a specific role for a class.
Yep.
I'm not quite sure how hunter would get into it, but...
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. I want to know who falls under the hunter class now.
I'm guessing Apollo or Game Hunter, well, like a Neef or something like that. It would be Game Hunter is now the hunter. They've just put him to the game. That's it.
Interesting enough.
So yeah. The visual effect for recall has been improved to indicate when the teleport will occur. You see that it's a little circle that closes in now. So most of the time, people generally know when they're going to teleport. You just have that inner clock that's going, I'm going to go.
Yeah.
And then, so you just see it hit now, so it's a lot better and get in. We have stat caps increased for these stats. Cooldown reduction has gone from 35% to 40%. Critical strike chance has gone from 80 to 100%, so if you stack up enough crit, you will crit every time.
That's pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, it could be interesting, as long as you don't gimp yourself on damage, like physical power. You just have to look at that way. And then lifesteal as well has been increased from 65 to 100. I actually like that because, to be honest, if you've invested in the items to get up to that up to that percentage, you should get that percentage. That's kind of the way I've always looked. If I like stack every lifesteal item in the game, I want all that lifesteal because I've gimped myself from other stats. That's kind of the way I looked at that one. So I like that introduction. The crit chance will be funny, especially if someone can get 100%.
Oh yeah, that'll be ridiculous. That'd be pretty cool though.
Yeah, and the god rotation has been changed to Anubis, Apollo, Arachne, Ares, and Hell. So that's a very weird combo.
Sure.
I'd love to see a game with just those in it.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Spectator mode has had a fixed issue, which the wrong team would display at the end match screen.
Sure.
I didn't really have too much. I haven't really seen too much of that though.
Okay.
So I didn't really have too much problem. Hopefully they fix the fact that when the Gold Fury would die, if you run one or two more matches, it would say the wrong team. Like it would go from like it would remember the team name from the previous games and stuff like that, and it's like, no, it's wrong. Active items now. Aegis.
We could kind of like jump through these as to ones that stick out to us because I know there's a ton. I mean, literally
there's a ton. The cooldown from Aegis has been reduced pretty much just from like the first usage. So the first usage is from 240 down to 180. So they fixed that.
They buffed it early game, it looks like, because
yeah,
early game,
they just kind of.
Yeah, the early game the cooldown was 240, and now early game it's 180. So it's still finishing off late game at the same exact level, but early game it's actually become a stronger item because of the cooldowns quicker.
Yeah, an issue has been fixed that now allows you to use an Aegis when firing a channeled ability, cancelling the channeled ability. So basically, and also if you're on Guan Yu's horse, it'll dismount you when firing. So basically, it just stops. It's like a stop cast button while it fires that one out. Blink's been changed. Blink is no longer usable when cripple. Now, I just haven't. I feel that combat blink not usable when cripple kind of defeats the purpose.
Well, they don't want what they talked about with cripple is that with cripple they don't want gods to be able to use their leap and disengages when cripple's in effect because they want cripple to actually be something that is very effective. So that's why they're putting blink under the same category as those leaps and stuff like that. And kind of putting it all together, which works out well. I say no because of the fact that like I like to play. If I play like a mage or somebody super squishy, the combat blink is so effective when you get crippled because most of the time after cripple comes a strong CC, comboing it together. So that's kind of why I'm like, oh no, combat blink on a mage in order to get that quick escape is no longer effective or needed.
Yeah, and it's also the fact that I'm invested in a combat blink.
Yeah,
I want to use a combat blink.
That's the whole point, right? In
combat, it's not like a leap.
But
blink. They increased the cooldown from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. But yeah, I don't like the cripple thing. That's the only thing I don't like about it. They've changed a few other things. Creeping Curse. The third item of this tier has been renamed Weakening Curse.
Correct.
Come on, guys, you can think of a better name.
Yeah, right.
Really. Oh, and the fact that the healing debuff has been increased from 50% to 100%.
It's so good. So
I
good.
haven't used it. That
my
looks
gosh,
like it would shut down a few people.
It's so good to have this item, and several people you'll see actually have it in a game. The reason being is like, okay, in a team fight, that Ra goes ahead and throws down his heal. Well, you can go ahead, jump in there, and go ahead and pop this, and his heal is worthless. Same thing with Hell's heal. Like, during the time the debuff is in effect, it's 100% no healing. So in team fights, it's so effective. Especially
and if
like
they use it, it wastes their cooldown.
Oh yeah, it's so good. I love it. I love it. I think it's a really good item, and I'm seeing a lot of people actually using it.
Yeah. I kind of look at it, especially like shuts down Aphrodite's doves and everything as well. Eye of Providence, Tier 1, the cooldown for placing the ward has been changed from 90 seconds to 60 seconds. I like that because if you're going to invest in the Tier of Providence, you want to be able to use it as much as you can just to kind of get your money's worth from it. Yeah. Tier 2, this now deploys sentry wards instead of normal wards. So literally as soon as you get up to Tier 2, it then makes it worthwhile. And Tier 3, this ward no longer requires line of sight to detect enemies and wards. I really like that because obviously it sees through walls and you don't have to be that critical on where you place it.
Yeah, well,
and it also probably adds up a few little extras where you could place them then as well.
yeah, Hi-Rez Arrows was actually saying that Eye of Providence was not getting used very much at all, and they wanted to go ahead and buff it in order to make it, an item that is valuable in getting. Because the theory behind it is awesome, but
Yeah.
the original Eye of Providence that they did roll out, it wasn't worth it. Throughout the entire game, it just wasn't worth it. So with some of the changes they're making, I think they're trying to get the item to be used more often here.
Yeah, it took too long to kind of. I think it took like 15, 20 minutes to actually pay back the Eye of Providence after you've invested all that into it. So it was like, yeah, pointless. Other than that, so yeah, I like the changes from that. Girdle of Might. The third tier of this item has been renamed Girdle of Support because it does it to everybody else. It's kind of All right, fair enough. The buff for each tier has changed. So from like the usual power plus percentage, it's now just a flat 10%.
Yep.
Tier
I
2
like that. A little less confusing.
Yeah, it's just easier numbers then, isn't it? Because, I don't know why they did it. Yeah, just old math on it. Tier 2, 15%, and Tier 3, 20%. 20%. So that's just easier to figure out. Girdle of Inner Power has been changed, obviously, from like the power and percentage again to a flat 20% as well. Which, to be honest, I swear they've got it wrong.
Okay.
Right, you've got the Girdle of Support, which obviously does everybody else. That does a flat 20%.
Yep.
Now, why is Inner Power 20% as well?
You're talking.
I'm gonna go into game and have a look, see if there's another stat on there that they forgot to add. But it basically is
in the notes. The notes probably don't include that last item. I would think.
I remember
the last details. Because those of you guys that aren't familiar, the old tier 3 of Inner Power was 30 physical power, 15% physical power, 60 magical power, and 50% magical power. Well, that was the exact same thing as the old tier 3 of Girdle of Might. Well, now since they upgraded both of them, both of their tier 3s are just 20% physical and magical is the way it's labeled on the notes. Now, if you jump in and go to the item builder, what do you got, Wristy?
I'm just going in now. Where is it? It's because it used to have penetration active.
Because there's got to be a huge difference between the two at a top level. Because the stats.
10% physical and magical protection. Penetration. Sorry.
Oh, the penetration.
So they've still got it.
Okay.
Well, No. What? Hang on. No. Girdle of Support. Allies also gain 10% and 10% physical magical penetration.
Okay. And on the other side is penetration, right?
Yeah, it's
you're seeing that a lot.
The same. It's exactly the same buff, except the support lasts for 5 seconds and the inner power lasts for 10 seconds. That is the only difference.
That's weird. Yep. Well, no, I thought you said one was protection, one was penetration.
No. I messed up my words. They're both physical and magical penetration. Okay. Both 10%. So they're exactly the same apart from the duration. Which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd much rather probably have the support. Yeah, I can see. Obviously, if you get the 10-second one, that'll last for like most of the team fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And also, last but not least, for that point, we have meditation. There is a new 3rd tier icon for this ability. Now, while I'm here, I might as well have a look. See?
Yeah, I think it's just a redo of the art for that actual tier 3 icon.
Do you know the funny thing is, when you go into the shop, it's not changed. When you it's because of this, probably like the level 1.
Well, it's tier 3.
Like a green. Yeah.
Moving on from there, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the consumable changes that we did have this past patch. The first one is Sentry Wards. The color of this ward was changed to purple. So they actually they changed it to be a little bit more true to what it looks like, make it a little bit different there. There's a price increase from 75 gold to 135. The lifetime has been increased from 90 seconds to 3 minutes on Sentry Ward, so extremely significant there. And the radius was reduced from 85 to 60, so they last longer, but they don't see as far. Teleport was increased from 150 to 200, and I definitely saw that playing. I went to go get it, like, what the heck? Furthermore, they fixed the issue where you teleport inside of the tower, and then you suddenly walk out of it. So they corrected that. And a regular reward, the color has been changed to blue. Purple and now blue. Any comments there on the consumables, Wristy?
Century Rewards, I like the fact that they actually changed it, because before it was the same price, and it was like, this is just pointless. At least now people can kind of look at it, because a lot of people before didn't understand that it was only 90 seconds. They just looked at the price and went, oh, I'm going to have this one. And now it lasts longer, but costs more gold. It's just a bit more beneficial. The only problem you're going to have is, obviously, when you can't award it, it's going to be a lot more expensive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I can understand that. Which in all reality is making the Eye of Providence look even more better right now.
Yeah. Teleport's quite nice as well, the fact that it's been increased. I don't know, you're probably still going to use it to get back a lane as fast as possible. But it does hurt you a bit more than it did before, because it used to be 125 gold. Now it's nearly double what it was originally. So,
Sure. Moving on from there, guys, we have the guide changes. A crazy long list, so any of the guides, if there's nothing too significant, I'm just going to skip right over, just so that we can kind of see there. Jumping in, our first guide is on her. We did see that there was a change there to his attacks on his spear. It now reduces the enemy's target's physical protection by 15 instead of 15%. Of the physical power.
Yes!
You're so happy about that.
I am, because I thought that was the most ridiculous fucking passive out. And I can't help but swear at that one, but I did. It was like 15% of my damage, especially like end game as well. It'd be like, that's so much damage that you're just negating just by hitting me. At least now it's just a bit of protection. It was a bit... Ever since they kind of... Well, ever since he come in, I went, why 15%? It was 20 when it was released. But no, I'm happy. I am very happy to see that.
Whatever.
I hate it.
Ayo's Spirit's Tempest, the cooldown has been reduced from 90 to 80, so he's going to have that more available to him. Furthermore, the delay between when the ability is fired and when the Spirit hits is been reduced down to 0.2 seconds, so almost an instant cast there.
I was about to say, just make it instant cast now.
Yeah. No, I agree. Apollo across the skies, the mana per second has been increased, so his distance will not be as far majority of the time. Just in general, his distance will not be as far because it will go... Oh, it's increased. I'm sorry. Yes, so from 50 to 60. So for every second, it'll be a tick of 60 mana taken off of Apollo. So he had a nerf go on there. Arachne had some interesting changes, and she actually had a lot of changes, but it's good to go into them. So the Broodlings now start weaker with lower health pools and gain health later. So late game, the Broodlings still do the same damage, but early game, they do not. And before they had 200 HP at all ranks, now they have HP scaling. So 100, 175, 250, 325, and 400. So let's talk about that first with Arachne. Something that I noticed was that if a team had Arachne in a Conquest-style game, you could actually do a level 1 Gold Fury by putting down 3 Broodling Sacks and attacking with your team. Because they were so strong. Now they've kind of made adjustments so that they're actually weaker in early game. What are your thoughts on this change?
I like the fact that now when you get caught up by the traps early on, you don't... Because it takes so long. It took so long to kill them at the start. It was like, I'm beating them. But 2 spiders would rip the crap out of you early game. It was just like, I hate you. And even, like, as well when the fights would start, if the egg kind of opened up on you and they started to fight, you kind of was like, do I kill the person? Or do I kill Arachne? Or do I kill the egg? The spiders. It was just like, what's going on? So at least now they die a bit easier. I like the scan into the late game just because they'll last that little bit longer. It just basically equals them out all the way through. They feel kind of just a little bit insignificant all the way through the game, rather than stupidly strong at the start and stupidly weak at the end. So yeah, it's just evened it out quite nicely. I do like it.
Sure. Drain Life had some changes. The damage and the healing of this ability has been reduced, so it's not as strong. Late game changes goes from 70 to 60, and early game 30 to 20. So a lot changes there. The physical contribution, the damage of this ability was increased though, so the healing is not as much, but the damage has been changed. A little bit of change there as well. And the physical power contribution of the healing of this ability has been increased from 5% to 10%. So kind of weird goofiness they've done with the Drain Life. There's so many different factors with that. Eager to see if things do go ahead and level out. And here's an interesting one. Tangled Web no longer cripples her enemies. I don't know why. I mean, I thought it was so effective. Like,
well, you'd expect the web to be sticky, wouldn't you?
Well, and same thing with like Poseidon, for example. Like Poseidon has his Whirlpool and it has Cripple. Why wouldn't you give Arachne a Cripple ability? Like, all of a sudden they're like, oh, nope, taking it away. So it's just a natural slow then?
I think, yeah, it's kind of weird the way they do this, because I know they haven't give Cripple to Anubis because they feel that Grasping Hands plus Mummify is too strong.
Oh, I'll take it in a heartbeat.
But yet, Whirlpool plus Kraken.
Oh, I know. I know.
Yeah.
The stack is so good.
But when you look at Tangled Web, it's like Tangled Web plus Cocoon.
Yeah.
So what's the difference there? Why is Poseidon the only one that can blast out a combo like that?
Yeah, I mean, you have Cripple on like Ares with his Shackle is out there too, but no one else really is sticking with that AOE effect as much.
I'd like Cripple to go back on her, because to be honest, it was a problem because the slow was quite massive, but I'd still it makes sense. It's one of them ones that you go, yeah. Just like I say with Anubis Grasping Hands, I feel that makes sense. That should cripple. And it was also probably he is pretty strong, but it would make him a little bit stronger, maybe a bit too strong, but it would be fun to say the least. Definitely.
Moving on from there, we saw Ares, which is this is actually a fix, but is also a nerf now. On Ares' shackles, the lifesteal on them was 100%. Now it's down to 33%. So I think this is where they originally wanted it. I think it was just a bug or an exploit there. So yeah, shackles actually having a nerf, which I can understand. This shackles is so good on once you get enough stacks there. So yeah, I could see this coming.
It used to be my #1 complained ability.
Well, now it's like you get hit with shackles. It's like you are slowed. Now, granted, it does have cripple on it, so I can understand why they made the adjustment with the lifesteal from 100% down to 33.
It still does the damage. You just don't get so much back.
Yes. Artemis suppress the insolent. The power, the physical power contribution has been increased from 30 to 50, and the mana cost has been reduced. Early game 70, now it's to 60, and late game 110, now down to 80. So a nice little buff there for that ability for her. I can see it. Artemis has been like a, kind of the ugly duckling hanging out with Bastet for a while now. So I'm kind of glad to see a little love go her way.
Yeah. With the next change, we got Athena. Ground targeters have been done as well as an updated loading screen card. Defender of Olympus. You can now channel it on someone in a grab, like Fenrir's Mouth or Arachne's Cocoon and stuff like that. They're now valid targets. They weren't valid before. It is funny when you cast it on a someone that's in Fenrir's Mouth, because the targeter goes sideways. And it's quite funny. Yeah, it slants up at like a 45-degree angle. It's quite funny.
That's weird.
Yeah, I've done that to somebody once when they brought them back into the middle of their group, and I managed to hit 4 people with it. It's like, whoops.
Not too bad. Yeah, definitely. That's actually a really cool idea.
Bacchus Drunken Meter. The amount of damage mitigated has been increased from 5% to 7%. When tipsy to 10%, and what was it? Yeah.
And then 14. So that's just the adjustment.
When tipsy, it's up to 7%, and when you're smashed, it's 14%. So it gets a bit more protection.
I'm surprised. I didn't really think Bacchus needed an adjustment.
He's already annoying as he is.
Yep.
And he's pretty hard to kill.
100% agree.
Bakasura, take down. This ability changed to reduce the physical protection of a target by 20 instead of lowering their damage dealt. That's the leap. Yeah. So reduces their physical protection. So basically, they take more damage. They don't dish out more, because sometimes if you used it right, you could obviously jump on the Poseidon before he crackened and reduce that. But it wasn't really used for that anyway. So it's a lot better for him to jump down and then rip him apart. Now, could you see this? Use that and the True Strike from his Butcher Blade.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna hurt.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, Bakasura, I can see it. I mean, you don't see him played as often, so I can understand why they started to make a few adjustments to make him a little bit more attractive.
Yeah. Regurgitate. Now, this has been given Cripple. Everything for like the radius.
So they take it away from Arachne, but they give it to him?
That's what I was saying. It's the same sort of like animation aspect. Even though it's an ultimate, they've given it a Cripple. And it was bad enough as it was anyway. The amount of time Bakasura is doing cone attacks during this ability has been properly set to 6 seconds. Instead, it was 4 seconds, so it lasts longer as well. The minions that are regurgitated are a standard regurgitated melee minion instead of the independent minions that you had before. So like you could throw out harpies and a few other things, big ones. So it's just the set minion now. But yeah, they've added cripple.
Yeah, I heard it's a mini Bakasura now.
Is it really? That would be cool. But like loads of mini-me's run out. Go on, my minion.
Yeah, right. Yep.
Bastet's cat call. The protections on the summoned cats have been changed from a flat 20 to a flat 20 on all ranks to a 20 at the first rank to 60 at the last rank.
They buffed the crap out of the cats late game.
Yeah, I haven't been up against the cats late game yet, but it's one of the ones that the cats were so bad late game that I can kind of understand it.
Yeah, I'm kind of scared to be honest with you though. Yeah, because early game they're so strong, and now late game they're going to be just as strong and deadly.
Well, they're just annoying. It's the slows that come out of these pets. It's just like I'd like to see a pet that doesn't slow, does something else but doesn't slow. Because they all seem slow at the minute, don't they?
Yeah,
well, even though there's only
like
like
a good
2.
factor with the slow. I don't know. Maybe like a takedown tackle effect or something like that. You know,
Stun.
Like a stun ability. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, Chronos' Rewind has improved effects for the build-up. I haven't seen this yet, though, so
It's nothing too significant.
Yeah, it's one of them ones that they go, did they change it? Not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, Hades' new ground target is... Pillar of Agony got a little bit of a nerf as well, though, actually, which is his ultimate.
Yeah, real small.
It's only tiny, like, the base damage is reduced from 50 to 110 to 45. So basically, they've dropped 5 across the board.
Yeah.
And the contributions are down by 5%. So it's ever so slightly. It's not major. It did used to... I never thought it was too much of a problem, but I suppose it's such a slight tweak. There's no need to worry.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with the next adjustment they made, too.
Yeah. Hebo Hercules had the new grounder target is done. And Humbats as well, passive infused strikes. The ability has been changed to give 50% critical strike chance buff on the next attack when ability used, rather than the 25% increase in damage. I prefer the critical strike than the increase in damage.
Oh yeah, the critical strike's great.
Doubles.
I mean, I think that's awesome. It's going to be really good on Humbats.
Yeah, it'll work out better.
Yeah, definitely. Jumping in, we got a few more god tiers. We talked about guys. We had a lot of guys this week. Callie, new ground targeters. Okay, whoop-dee-doo. On top of that, the Enrage. This ability is changed so that she always gains 20% lifesteal for 5 seconds when dropping below 25%. That refreshes as her health stays low. So a change there. Also for Callie, I think they're trying to make Callie a little bit more attractive. Not a lot of people play Callie much. We saw a lot of changes. Here's another one with Callie Rage. The cooldown of this ability has been changed from 15 seconds across the board to 15, 14, 13, 12, and 11. So it's no longer 15 straight. You now can get up to 11, which is pretty good for Callie's Rage. Finally, for Callie Frenzy, the cooldown of this ability has been reduced. Starting at early game 90, now it's at 80, and late game it was 70, now we're down to 60. So about a 10-second difference across the board, start to finish. Did you think they need to make Callie a little bit more attractive?
I like the change to the passive, because to be honest, when it would go down low, it was like, I only get a little bit of life steal anyway. So it's like, over there. I much prefer it now, so when you get it down, obviously she gets more health. Yeah, I kind of agree with it a little bit. Yeah, it's not major. It just means she can use Frenzy a bit more often.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's nothing too drastic. It's just cooldowns.
Yeah. So, we saw Loki the decoy. Those of you guys unfamiliar, that's when he tosses that like dancing Loki up in the air with the AoE effect. It pulls in minions. The base damage of this ability has been reduced. So it was at 90 early game. It's now down to 75. And late game it was 350. Now it's down to 275. So huge adjustment late game. Is not a strong late game at all. 350 to 275. Furthermore, Vanish, an issue has been fixed with this, removing Loki from invisibility when he can use consumables. Makes sense, makes perfect sense there. On top of that, nausea. And a lot of people complained about this, but I can see it. Like, some people are like, oh, you nerfed her. But it's like, dude, it was so good. The universal ring toss. This ability no longer bounces to the same target twice. I'll throw it to you, Wristy. What are your thoughts?
I hate this purely for one fact. It dumbs down nausea. the skill with Naja was throwing out the ring at the right time. Like, you could throw it out like where there's a creep wave and you'd only hit the target once. But if you caught them when they're on their own or in a team fight, it would do more damage. If you could catch 2 people on their own and throw it out, fantastic. It works out a lot better. It's more of an assassin ability that Naja is. Naja's an assassin, like a heavy a heavy carry. Yeah. But now you've reduced one of like her main damaging abilities. I kind of looked at it and went, you've just sucked the skill right out of that ability. Why? It's just, it irritates me a little bit.
They could have kept up with the second target twice, you know, the ability to hit twice, but they could have just lowered the damage on it too.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
You know what I mean?
Lower it a little bit. If you think it's doing too much damage,
they might bring it back and just lower the damage on it. That's where it was. It was just doing too much damage. Like, if you had a group of people, it could do so much. Imagine that hitting a mage. Like, that one ability could do so much damage. So I can understand it there.
It was fun.
Anyways, moving on, you Naja little boy lovers.
Wow.
Odin. Thank God we finally saw changes to Odin. I'm so happy about this because Odin was like one of my first few favorite gods. Odin Shout. The cooldown of this ability has been reduced from 18 down to 13 at all ranks. So we saw a lot of the changes in Smite going away from a static amount of cooldown. Now it's actually flopping where it's going towards the static cooldown change. So 13 seconds. The Gungir's Might, the slow has been increased from 30 to 50. This is awesome. Gungir's Might is so good now. I'm so happy with that. The passive protections now include magical as well as physical, which I think is needed. You need to, have that because he is a tank, trying to make him a little bit more attractive as a tank. An issue has been fixed where the tooltip reports incorrect values. Okay. Now, Ring of Spears. The protections gained inside of the ring are also gained to all allies inside of the ring as well. This does not pertain to CC. So, I love it, as you can tell. Wristy, what are your thoughts? Do you think Odin actually needed this or no?
I don't know if he needed it, but I like it. I'd like the Gunya's Might one. That's the protections equalised out. That's quite nice. It was always just good for Odin that they knew he was. You always knew he was all right for the physical power. So you generally didn't feel you needed not physical power, physical protection. You didn't need the early physical protection item anyway. Fair enough. People were getting Mystical Mark at the start when he was solo laning, but other than that, he was sound. So you'd buy a magical protection kind of early on. Now it's even better. The slow's good because generally once I like it. I like it. And the Ring of Spears, it's a nice little addition, to be honest, just to help him out. Obviously,
the Ring of Spears sucked. I'm sorry, it really sucked.
Could you imagine comboing that with the Isis ultimate on your team?
Oh yeah,
they both reduce.
Well, the reason I didn't like his ultimate previously was because of the fact that half the people in the game had escapes, and with Blink in the game, it was like pointless. It was like, Jesus, half the team has a Blink or half the team has a Leap, so it's like, wow, I just wasted my ultimate to capture nobody.
Wow, it's always timing when to use it. You just throw it out. Go on. Whee!
That's
and
right.
I go, bye.
Yeah, I will. Interesting enough, I haven't played Odin yet as a full tank. I've actually played him more of a bruiser style, starting out with like Mark of the Vanguard, then moving into like Warrior Tabby, and then from there it's situational. So I do a little bit more damage. I have seen people playing Odin actually as a solo lane now because of his ability to clear a little bit better. So we'll have to see kind of what happens with Odin, but I'm really happy about the change.
Yeah, I don't like playing him full tank. He's just... Nah, there's better tanks if you're going to do it.
Correct. And finally, Ra here, Solar Blessing. The physical magical power buff and debuff has been removed from this ability. So there is no buff or debuff to go ahead and up your physical or magical damage. Power. The healing has been increased. So, and I can see this why, we did go ahead and see Weakening, Creeping Curse adding into it. So they're going to go ahead and now add an increase. So I can understand this too as well with, hey, if we're not going to give you a buff to the magical power or physical power, we can at least give you a little bit more healing. So the physical healing has been increased from 15 early game to 20, so about a 5. And then late game, 55 to 60, so once again, a +5 difference. And finally, the magical contributions of the healing has been increased as well. So not only is it ticking a higher tick, but now you're getting more of an increase from 10% to 15%. So Rod's heal is going to be a little more effective now.
Yeah, especially in the team fights where they just fry it down. It's just like... Oh. So yeah, it's nice.
It is.
4 had a change, which I fully agree with because it used to wind me up. Mjolnir's attunement. 4 can no longer teleport to his hammer when affected by cripple. He was one of the few gods that could get out even with cripple.
Well, that's the same thing. It goes along the same lines of like they reanalyzed cripple, especially looking at it from like a combat blink perspective or something like this, and they're pretty much saying cripple is there to stay, and there isn't really an escape to it unless you're popping up beads.
Yeah. Now, it's going to nerf 4 a bit. I don't think I've seen him. Honestly, the games I've played, I didn't see him. So it could have hurt him pretty bad. Just that one little thing that he can't get out of a cripple could be enough to actually mess him up and finish him off. He could probably still... I didn't see any competitive play this weekend, so I'm not sure if he was in it. But it looks like it's going to hurt him more than you'd think.
Yes.
Tier, the power cleaving guard stance, the healing base, the healing on this ability has been increased from 30 to 90 to 45 to 125. So they've given him a bit more healing back. Did he need it?
Well, the big thing here is with his guard stance, nobody plays tier as a bruiser.
No.
Nobody does. Everyone always plays him as like an AD style. And so they're trying to make it, and I'm using that term attractive again, they're trying to make his defensive guard stance, bruiser style side, a little bit more attractive. And so they're making it so there's a little bit more healing, so you have a little bit more sustain, so it's actually viable to go as a bruiser style.
Yeah, but then it's like, he's got so much control and damage that why would you do anything else? And the fact that they've increased the power scaling from 15 to 50.
Yeah.
It says power scaling, but I'm like, it says per target, so I think they messed up there and they want healing. Oh, no, actually, I don't know. Yeah. It just, the wording's a bit wrong. But yeah, it's up from 15 to 50%. So it does a lot more damage. So he was bad enough as he was anyway. He was pretty strong. Now he's stronger.
Yep.
And the fact, Lawbringer can now be fired while crippled.
So it goes completely back to like it completely kills my last statement where I'm like, oh yeah.
I'm not sure whether there's a few, like I said, there's some questionable decisions with the cripple that they make a few things and it's like, yeah, that's sound. Don't know why they do that. And another one, it's like, yeah, we agree. And then it's like,
is Lawbringer his ultimate?
What? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's the one we throws the sword.
I can understand that because it's his ultimate, because there's a sacrifice for using. I couldn't remember what the ultimate name was. I wanted to call it something with justice or something like that. I don't know why. But I can understand that. You sacrificed your ultimate in order to get out of a cripple that you're being affected by. So I can see that.
Yeah, it's. I've always been a bit like an ultimate should be able to be a bit more beneficial than everything else. So we can see it there, but it's like, yeah, where do we go with the cripples? Vulcan's backfire no longer pushes him back.
Yep.
Kind of a redundant little aspect that they added in for a bit of novelty, so I can understand why they did that. The cooldown of this ability has been reduced from 13 for all ranks to 9 to 5, so it's substantially reduced. The mana cost has also been reduced from 65 to 85 to 50 and 70, so it's a flat 15 mana drop on all the ranks, and the base damage has been decreased quite a lot, actually.
Yep.
It's like half nearly at the top end.
Yeah.
But basically you use backfire just to target off your cannons, so the reduced cooldown is going to help a lot more, especially with the 5 seconds. Because if you can keep getting that off on targets in team fights, you'd be alright, as long as they don't take out your turret.
Well, sure. And I mean, the thing here is you have to look at is they went ahead and made this change because Vulcan is so boring to play. He's super boring to play. And so what they did was they made the change where they said, okay, we have Vulcan where you go ahead and throw down these turrets, and then the turrets are up there. Great. What does he do in the meantime? He runs around and swings his hammer, and every once in a while his first ability of backfire is available. He tries to find a god, uses backfire, shoots him backwards, disengages him from battle again, so once again he's out of that battle area, and it just goes ahead and fires. And it's like, wow, this god is boring to play. So they removed the knockback, they went ahead and increased the cooldown, and they've decreased the amount of damage it does, but the cooldown's up so often, so now they're trying to get Vulcan to be a little bit more involved, a little bit more fun to play, so I can understand this point. I did see some people complain though, which were like diehard Vulcan fans about it because they were all concerned about the nerf. But you gotta remember, just because there's a nerf on the amount of damage there does, look how often you can cast it with a 5-second cooldown.
Yeah, it's just I'd have rather said that was a bit of a, oh yeah, I suppose the damage buff, but nerf, but yeah, I think it's more of a buff than anything else.
Yeah.
Shibalunke's poison darts, the ground target was incorrectly smaller, and the actual ability has been fixed, or it's smaller than the ability, and it has now been fixed. I always kind of noticed that as well, that you could the side angle would go out, but yeah, that's. They've made it bigger. Ymir's his mana has been base mana has been increased from 185 to 200. Mana per level up from 30 to 32, and his base physical protection from 21 to 23. So he's now.
So Ymir was awesome in the first place, and so they went ahead and buffed him with his mana because I would have to agree here. Ymir sucked through mana like crazy because he was so good because of his abilities. Well, the mana usage that he used was ridiculous. And so I can see how this happened because I would find myself looking to farm blue buff every time or hoping for a new meditation because of this. So what are your thoughts on this with Ymir?
No, I just, because he just sucks through mana so quickly. You throw out like 3 or 4 abilities and it's like, I've got no mana left. This sucks.
It does.
Also, the fact he's going to be a bit harder to kill as well early on, because he was always one of the ones that it took a few like 5 levels or so, and like maybe like 1 item before his scaling start to kick in. Now it's going to kick in a little bit earlier, and also be a bit harder to kill later on. Yeah. So the fact that he's a nightmare anyway, in game he's going to be even worse. So definitely one to see. Glacial Strike. The cooldown of this ability has been reduced as well from 11 seconds to 8, and the power contribution has gone up from 60% to 70%. So it's like, buff Ymir. Buff Ymir.
Yeah, no complaints. I'm happy about it. You know, I like Ymir. Ymir was the first god I played when I got into Smite, so yeah, Ymir. And then finally we got one last god.
Yeah, it's John Quee. The exorcism issue has been fixed where the tooltip was showing increased mana, so nothing special there.
No, I'm really surprised. I still do not like where John Quee is in this game. You know, I really don't. Like, last night I was playing, and those of you guys that caught it, and I was raging a ton about John Quee. Because he can, with his ultimate, he can just plow the lane. You don't even have to worry about taking damage from the enemy. And you will melt every person in your way, and you'll be completely healed up, full health, no problem. It's just like,
he doesn't heal himself with his ultimate.
Yes, but the fact that he heals everyone around him is like, I don't like that he can heal so well. Like if he's a support, he should be a support, but he shouldn't do just as much damage, if not more, with the magical damage.
It's like the Barcus intoxication. It's like, why does that do so much damage?
Exactly. It's like if he's a support god, he's support. But if he's not a support, it's this weird mix. I don't like the mix. I don't like where he's at yet. I mean, I like his mechanics, but I feel like he needs to be a little bit more balanced.
I think they could probably do that if they changed the way it would mean like a full-on overhaul of the item system, but make it so if you don't pick like full damage build, your damage is like severely reduced. Make it like a bigger substantial amount. So like if I pick one defensive item, I've lost a big % of damage, and so on and so forth like that, because it could help that then and make it a bit easier to balance, because everything's quite low numbers at the minute. So yeah, possibly that way, but we always say about that and then quickly changing the word. Did you spell it wrong?
So jumping in, we're gonna go ahead, guys, and swap up. That's the end of our patch notes. Huge patch notes this past week. Really happy to go over that. A lot of changes. You know, Hi-Rez did say 6 months, 8 months back, they're like, we're going to stop making major game changes and just look into balance and god changes. Well, that was a bunch of bull cocky. They made so many changes to the game, the maps, so much, you know, the gods, huge significant changes. Well, now I feel like Hi-Rez is finally getting back to that fine-tune area where they're just like slowly fine-tuning everything. And so really happy with this past patch. A lot of god changes, but I think they were needed. What did you think of the overall patch, Wristy?
I like a lot of the changes. I like the new god. I still need to get the playing a bit more. I'm actually going to start playing a bit after the show. I'm not even going to go to bed. I'm going to record some stuff as well.
Good for you. Good for you. Is that why I saw you drinking a Monster?
Yeah. I'm sitting.
I quit drinking those, sir. I quit drinking those.
My girlfriend hates Mondays now because I come in from work, sit down, do a little bit, and then I go to sleep just so I'm awake for the show.
That's
and it's
right.
just like, but I've always got Monday off. And I'm like, yeah, but go. And what drives me nuts as well, because she'll come up, try and talking to me and get attention from me. And it's like, this is like 3 in the morning to you. I'm going to wake you up when you're asleep next time and see how you like it.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
But no, I'm definitely going to. I do like the patch. There's a lot of changes in it that I'm like, yes. And then there's the Naja one where I'm like, no.
Yeah.
But I don't actually play Naja that much. I don't even know.
Not anymore. You used to play her a ton, but not anymore. You used to go like a solo Naja because you're
solo
good.
mid. Yeah. Oh, that was so strong.
Yeah.
It was funny.
Well, moving on from there, let's go ahead. Guys, once again, the Smite Update, if you're just joining us, has a few different sections of the show. The first section is the patch notes. We kind of go through it. But we go through the patch notes like 6 days later. And reason being is because it gives us a chance to actually reflect on some of the changes and talk about them with experience behind them, compared to just like what you see from Bart that comes out on like a Tuesday, Wednesday, which is kind of like, okay, here's what's coming, here's what to expect, but I don't know how it's going to work. So we went ahead and finished up the patch notes. We're now going to jump into another section of our show, which is called the eSports Update. And this past week, we had the NA tournament go on. This is the Hi-Rez NA tournament, sponsored by Hi-Rez Studios. And first place went to Cognitive Gaming NA. So Cognitive making a really, really good appearance. Thanatos eSports getting second, and third going to Last Resort. Now, Wristy, who's missing there?
Who's missing? What? Say what?
Cognitive Gaming first, Thanatos eSports second, and Last Resort third. Who's missing?
It's Dignitas.
Exactly. Where the hell's Dignitas?
It was because somebody couldn't make it.
Dignitas got fourth. And
did they?
They got fourth.
Oh yeah.
And I made a comment to one of the Hi-Rez employees. I said, did you guys put a handicap on him or something? Like, what happened? Yeah, the one thing I want to talk about there is with things like teams playing without their full squad, and just kind of half-assing it. I don't think they should do that at all. Like, if you... at the competitive level that these teams are starting to play at now,
sorry, someone went Gerber's mid. That's why.
Right. Yeah, right. Like the competitive level that they're playing at right now, you can't go ahead and take a team which is this huge solid foundation, been playing for months together, static 5, and go, okay, let's pull somebody and put someone else in. And I understand, like, hey, they had to go ahead and make, they needed to play. Maybe they needed the money. I don't know, whatever. But, like, this is an embarrassment to their team. Like, they are one of the top few best teams in the NA. And this is embarrassment. 4th place. Like, it's like, oh, like, I don't know. It drives me nuts to see this stuff because I think they were one of the teams that was like, we will not sub people in. We are our set 5. If one of us can't play, none of us will play. You know what I mean?
It was weird for them to lose 2 games. Like, fair enough, like, Denial knocked them out in the semi-finals.
Yeah.
Okay, I can kind of understand that you lose 1 game. Right, okay. Yep. And then they lost the Last Resort as well, and it was like, what? Really? Is Gerb a crippling... is Gerb the crippler, maybe? No?
Yeah, I don't really know.
Best really that good?
Yeah, I don't really know. I can't remember who Jerby's playing for now. Who is he playing for?
I think he is going back to Dignitas as like a sub.
No. I don't think so. I thought he was playing for somebody.
They conceded.
I'm trying to remember the team that he's playing for now. It's like an unknown, I don't remember. Chat room, maybe you'll let me know. I don't think he went to Team Dignitas as a sub whatsoever. He just filled in for this tournament, I feel like.
Okay.
But yeah, somebody in chat will tell us who Jerby's playing for right now. I forget what team. Anyway, so that was the NA side of things. Kind of interesting, but congratulations to Cognitive getting up there. From what I'm noticing, though, I feel like Cognitive Gaming and they're one of those teams that plays better on online tournaments than LAN tournaments.
Oh, you mean the NA one?
Correct, for NA at least.
Yeah, they do. Maybe it's... I think... It comes down to a lot of things. It's either the pressure of a LAN event, but then I think also the way that Dignitas are. I think they love the attention.
Well,
So like,
the first thing to comment on there is like a LAN event. Just from coming from a StarCraft 2 background, I've been to several MLGs. I've talked with several pro players in the StarCraft 2 scene. I used to be really involved over there. It is a completely separate mindset from a LAN event with thousands of people in front of you watching, and in your home environment, playing, with your keyboard, your mouse, everything. I mean, look at the LAN events. I don't understand why players aren't like, I'm not playing with your shitty mouse and keyboard. I want to play with my own stuff. This is what I'm comfortable with. Like, I don't understand why any of the players in the competitive scene right now are willing to play with other manufacturers' gear that's not their own, that they play with every single day. Like, it drives me nuts. Like, step it up, competitive players.
I'll tell you what I wouldn't. I'd be sitting there as a team going, even if it wasn't, I'd go, I can't play with that. It's against my team sponsorship.
Like, no disrespect, but like, I play with SteelSeries gear. If you gave me Razor, I'd be like, I'm not playing with this stuff. Like, I don't like it. It's not what I use day in and day out. And so they can't bring their own. No, they can't. In the past, now granted, I will say this. In the past, with going to a PAX or going to a Gamescom, a lot of the partnered booths, because remember, Hi-Rez doesn't have their own huge booth out there and huge stage. They're partnered. So they're partnered with like Twitch. Well, Twitch, might have a sponsor, and therefore they have to use that gear. Or at Gamescom, they have a partner. Well, that partner is is a sponsor as Razer, so they had to use that. So I don't really like the fact that that's in place. Now, granted, I know like Hi-Rez is just trying to get these teams there and just trying to get the competitive scene going at some of these events. But it's like, they should be using their own headsets, their own keyboards, their own mice, being in their comfort zone. I mean, first off, they're no longer at home in their comfort zone. Now you're giving them different gaming peripherals to use. It's like, come on, guys. Like, this stuff matters. A mouse and keyboard is an extension of your fingers. It is.
Do you know what was good?
What's that?
We EU kicked the crap out of NA for. Gamescom allowed us to take our own crap.
Oh, really?
Everyone, like, you could see Denial and SK had all their sponsored stuff. Obviously, they got, so, like, I think SK's Steel Series, or one of them Steel Series, and they had, like, all their Steel Series stuff. Yeah. And then all the headsets are the same because it was a sponsored one that they were given from home. Because Gamescom is a LAN event where everyone takes their computer from home. Fair enough, they probably didn't take the machine, but they were all like changing over their keyboards and stuff. So it's like,
in chat, somebody had said it's like a basketball player having to wear a brand new set of shoes to an away game. It's like, are you kidding me? Like, anybody that gets a brand new pair of shoes, you got to wear them in. You know what I mean? Like, get used to it, stuff like that. And another comment, can pro StarCraft players use their own gear? Every StarCraft 2 event that I've been to, they can bring their own gear. Every StarCraft 2 player actually has a LAN bag. And it's also, not everyone, but 99% of them do. And it is like a one-strap bag that goes over their shoulder. It almost looks like a archer's quiver. And it'll have, you can use your own gear, and most of the people will use their sponsored stuff. So like Evil Geniuses for the longest time used Steel Series. Now they're sponsored by Razer, so they use Razer. But yeah, it's just that's how the StarCraft. Now, granted, StarCraft 2 is way beyond where Smite is right now, and StarCraft 2 has their own issues right now with MLG pulling back on Columbus. I was gonna go to that. I canceled it. I'm not going this month. I'm not going to MLG Columbus.
Didn't you say there wasn't gonna be someone there?
Oh, well, StarCraft's not going to be there now.
Yeah, that's why he was like, I ain't going there.
Yeah, I'm not going. Screw that. They're putting Dota. Screw that noise. I said, if I went Dota, all my fans would hate me.
Could you imagine it? Oh, there, bros. He's switching. He's a traitor.
Switching to Dota. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, funny.
Anyways, moving on from there to the EU scene. The results this past week. SK Gaming taking first. Congratulations to them. From there, we also did see Cognitive Gaming EU second, so Cognitive making a great appearance once again. And then third place to Bipolar Method. Bipolar Method's always up there in the top few. And then this other team, which I've never heard of, maybe you have, Wellox eSports.
Just having a look. Yeah. I have never seen that name.
Okay.
I'm going to go just look at the...
Yeah, I don't know if they're a group that broke apart and then rejoined back up together. I'm not really sure.
Oh my god, I hate this eSports website. Why is it every time I come in here I hear Taylor Swift?
Oh, is that like a joke?
It's not Smitten playing again, is it?
Could be. Oh, no, but no, they don't show.
Well
they
up,
don't have
well
it.
up.
Okay,
No,
here's a comment to Hi-Rez employees. When I go to your website, I do not want to hear the streamer.
It's really bad because
it is so annoying. And when I mute the streamer on your website, I still hear the streamer on your website.
yeah,
I have to pause it, and it is so annoying that I need to hear the streamer every time I go on there.
I was even on the team page, and I'm like, there's no stream video. Why am I even hearing it? And all I heard was Taylor Swift Hebo remix. It was like,
yes.
And it was so loud.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I was looking at the team names. I've not seen any of them before.
Okay.
So yeah, it's definitely a fresh team, which is really good actually, because a fresh team coming in there and getting fourth.
Yeah, good for them. Good for them.
Yeah.
Guys, want to recommend if you guys want to go ahead and check out more of the stats from the past weeks, the brackets. Go over to Hi-Rez has a site, eSports.SmiteGame.com. That is kind of their competitive kind of website. It's really, really good actually. But make sure that you guys do check it out. And once again, it is eSports.SmiteGame.com. Let's go ahead and jump into This Week in Smite with Wristy.
Before we say that, I have got a milestone to announce.
What is your milestone,
1,000 subscribers.
What's that?
I got 1,000 subscribers.
On YouTube?
Yeah. I literally just refreshed it and I went, exactly 1,000.
Congratulations.
Tomorrow it'll be 99 or something like that. Just
right, 99.
It's like such a... So there's that. So that's a good little bonus. Yeah, so up on This Week in Smite, it's the competitive calendar, which is pretty much the standard thing that we always seem to be getting. Obviously, on the where we got next up, we have Clash of the Gods on Wednesday. I'm going to be casting that probably with Cooper.
Yep.
We also have the French Weekly. I am going to watch this because everything sounds better in French. Could you imagine listening to Smite going,
can you imagine listening to me in French? Come on now.
No.
Oui, oui!
Yeah, it's kind of funny because I remember an actor say, a French actor, they give him like the most filthiest thing to read out, but because it was read in French, it sounded like poetry. And then they said what it was, and it was like, no. We got Denial Casual EU on Saturday, 11 a.m. I don't know what the time is. It actual our time or their? I don't know.
It's East Coast time. It's East Coast time.
It's East Coast time. We also have the NA Weekly, and on Sunday you've got the EU Weekly and the NA Casual.
Yeah, for Denial. Yeah. So guys, I went ahead and linked that in chat. It will be on the comments on YouTube. That's kind of like a nice little calendar to start to keep up to date with, which is kind of nice. I actually recommended this, by the way, to Hi-Rez Kelly. So thank you very much. Kelly can thank me. That's right. What she did was she posted on Reddit and just a list of here's what's coming up this week. And I was like, why don't we put this into a calendar? And you guys can update it. And they were like, oh, that's such a good idea. So I'm very happy that Kelly went forward with this. Let's go ahead, guys. We're going to move into one of the last sections of the show, which is our weekly community Smite content. And there's so much to go over this week. I'll go ahead and link in chat here first. We have coming up the Smite Challenge for Charity event coming up. This benefits Child's Play and Children's Healthcare for Atlanta. It's a live stream that's going to go on from October 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern, and is going to continue through to October 5th at 8 p.m. Eastern, hosted in Atlanta, Georgia. During this time, they're going to have a competitive style game. They haven't really said what it is. If it's like a best of 5, best of 7. I have a feeling it's going to be a best of 3, but best of 5 would kind of be cool. But that's a lot of casting. But we haven't seen any best of 5s yet in the competitive scene, so we'll kind of have to see what happens. It will be between Team Dignitas and Denial Esports. The esports competition event will be played on Saturday, October 5th at 8 p.m. in front of a live audience at Siege, which is the Southern Interactive Entertainment and Game Expo, which is in Atlanta. The funny thing is, Wristy, that same day, I'm going to be driving right through Atlanta, Georgia, or right past Georgia, on the east coast of Georgia, not towards Atlanta. Because I was literally going to stop by and say hello to the Hi-Rez guys and check this event out.
And ask for some free crap.
Oh.
I would go, give me free stuff.
Yeah,
Come on.
Right.
I'm like a hoarder.
But yeah, I'm making a road trip from Pennsylvania in the U.S. Down to
how far is that?
Down to Florida to drop off a car for my sister. It's 20 hours.
Really, just to drop off a car?
Yep, just to drop off a car, and then I'm gonna stay down in Florida for like 2 days and then fly back.
Hey, people moan in this country if we have to drive more than 4 hours for a car.
Well, you're a lazy son of a bitches, so it's okay.
There's not even 20 hours of driving to get from one end of the country to the other.
So, what else is going on is alternatively, spectators can view the competition, including the 24-hour stream. And it begins, once again, October the 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Smite Game. The stream will be free, but they're going to be asking for donations, which will go towards the charity. So pretty cool. And so I will go ahead and link this in chat. It will be in the comments. Make sure you guys do check it out. Really happy to see this going on. I'm so pissed I can't make it either, because I'm like, I would drive this anyway, like if I was available that weekend. But I will tell you, Hi-Rez, I am going to plan to make a trip out and visit Hi-Rez's headquarters at some point or another. I kind of just have to figure out a date when to fly down there and visit them.
The headquarters. Yeah, I'm just gonna pop in while you're at work and just.
Well, I'm gonna let them
know.
Now. I'm gonna talk to like Todd and Bart and Duke and a few other people that I speak with a lot and be like, hey, can I get a tour of your facility and hang out with you guys for the day? I doubt they're gonna say no, but it can't hurt to ask, right?
Yeah. You get to see all the projects they're working on.
That's right.
Like,
that's right.
I know what Global Agenda 2 looks like.
They won't come out with that. It'll fail again. Anyways, sorry.
Hopefully they learn from the mistakes.
I bite my tongue. You learn from your mistakes. Okay, I'll earn my credit back. You came out with Smite. It's awesome. Anyways, another announcement within the community. Mortality eSports. Mortality, not Morality. Mortality eSports picks up an EU Smite Team. Imaginary. And
which was Exposed Secrets before they were Imaginary as well, so they were doing well.
Yeah, they've been doing really well in the scene. I went ahead and put the link out there. Imaginary Team, their like team logo is kind of cool looking, with just the little girl.
Black Widow Spider. Oh, well, the Imaginary one. Yeah, that looks pretty cool.
That was kind of cool. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat.
That's very like that movie. I can't remember who does the movie one, but the one where there's like the kids sitting on the moon fishing.
Yeah,
at the studios. That looks pretty. It's like that.
So they were picked up. Really happy about that. I actually knew this was coming like several days beforehand. So really happy about this. I knew the organization was hunting. I knew for a fact the organization was hunting for a team, and I know that they made an offer to some teams, and believe it or not, some teams had turned them down because they were waiting for better opportunities to come out. Like they were hoping like a Team Liquid would jump in, or like an Evil Geniuses would jump in. And I wanted to be like, seriously, like you're like, oh my gosh, if an opportunity comes your way to better your team with true sponsors, don't turn it down. Like that type of stuff drives me nuts. But anyways, so team was picked up. Really happy about that.
Is Mortality part of Smite Tube?
I think the overall organization owns it.
Yeah. Because I remember speaking to Coop about this, and I went, "You want these blokes?"
Yeah.
And I actually said, "The Exposed Secrets."
Okay.
So, I was in the know. I didn't realize I was in the know, but yeah.
There you go. And finally, our last thing for today, I just added this actually. Hi-Rez Studios is getting ready. This was the title. Hi-Rez Studios is getting ready to release their 3D and most anticipated online video game, Smite. This was actually by Channel 11 News, and it actually is a full news clip on Hi-Rez Studios. It's a 6-minute segment with, I guess, the host and anchor, and then also with Hi-Rez Todd Harris. If you guys remember, I did an interview with him. Well, it's a 6-minute long video, and I think it's kind of interesting that they put Hi-Rez is getting ready to release. So it's 6 minutes long. I'll go ahead and put it in chat. It will be on the comment section of the show, so you guys can check it out. Go watch it after the show's done. I'm really eager to see it. I'm going to listen to it tomorrow at work. But I'm really eager to see, what to talk about, what comes out in there. Is there a little more hint of the game, coming out a little bit more? But yeah, so that kind of ends it for our community section. Any last things to add there, Wristy?
No, I haven't watched the video, but I'll have a watch after the show. I'll be
That's
like,
right.
oh, let's have a look what's going on. I've still not watched the interview you done with him yet either.
Oh, that was such a good interview.
Oh, you had so much fun.
It was a good interview. I have another interview this week. I'll be interviewing Hi-Rez Bart this week, actually. So I'll be interviewing him on. Oh shoot, what day is that? I gotta look. Anyways, I'll be interviewing him this upcoming week. I just thought about it because I know I'm going away for business again. Oh crap! Is that the same day? Let's find out here. Yep, I'm gonna have to reschedule that. Anyways, so guys, that kind of concludes. Let's see. Your audio is going in and out, Octane. That's weird.
It did a little bit. You're back now.
Oh, okay.
You got a bit quiet. I thought it was just my earphones, but
oh,
yeah,
okay. Well, guys, that concludes the community section of our show. Before we go ahead and do the giveaway, I want to go ahead and remind you guys to please go ahead and once again check out Tweaked Audio. You can check them out over at tweakedaudio.com. Wristy and I are both using their noise-canceling earbuds. Super comfortable for gaming. I use them all day long at work, and then when I come home and do casting, podcasting, and gaming, I do use them. If you go over to tweakedaudio.com and use the promo code OctanePro, you'll get 33% off plus free shipping anywhere in the world. So go over, check them out, show your support, tweakedaudio.com. I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to Wristy. Guys, we're going to look for 3 questions from chat before we go ahead and head out from today. So if you guys have 3 questions, please go ahead and give them.
Why is my green screen blue? No. Remember when we had that? We was doing the high-res one, and everybody thought I was underwater. I was like, no, I'm not underwater. Leave me alone.
Yes, I do remember that.
No questions as of yet, though.
Okay. I muted and unmuted my mic, so hopefully that fixes it. Guys, we're looking for 3 questions from chat. So if anybody has any questions from chat for us about Smite, non-Smite related, whatever you guys want. We have 3 questions from chat you guys can give out, and then we're going to do a giveaway, a set of actually Tweaked Audio earbuds.
What was your most hated God change that just happened in this patch? You're going to have to have a little flick over them, aren't you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to scroll up.
I hate the Najal one. Clearly,
yeah.
I hate the Najal one. Yeah. I think I made enough protests for that. It's more of, it takes the skill out of it. You don't think about when you throw it out now. It's just, you just throw it out. Just because you know it's only going to hit once anyway.
You know the one I don't like?
What?
The on her change.
Do you really? Oh,
I love playing on her.
That's the best one. It was always too strong. Yeah. But I suppose we got used to it. But yeah, it's maybe the protections now. If you maybe you'll do more damage. It's more of one. If you can catch them off guard, you'll kill them quicker than they should be able to kill you. It's one of them looks, and I think you've dropped off quietly again. I think it just Mike's just going picking up and going down.
My mic is actually on its way out.
Really?
My snowball actually, the first mode on the snowball, which is meant for podcasting. When I turn it on, it gets all distorted and crackly, and so I actually put a support ticket with blue snowball. And they told me that it's actually defective, and so I'm trying to find my original purchase receipt. I have no clue who I purchased it from, but they will go ahead and replace it for me for free if I can go ahead and get my purchase receipt.
Ah, okay, that's cool. A quick one for me, who does my artwork on the channel. This doesn't count to the 3 questions though. It's just for me. I had a friend do the artwork for my channel. It's a bit kind of like sketchy, but I edit all the videos. I did the intro and stuff. It literally, the bit of artwork was one of my friends that did it. Probably not the best, but it doesn't look that bad. I don't mind it too much. So there's that one. What god do you think needs a visual cleanup, big or little? Let's just think. What have we got?
Mine would be Artemis.
Yeah, Artemis. Yeah, definitely needs one. I would like to see, definitely one of the early gods. Probably Alquan really needs to look up, because at the minute he still looks like a pathetic lizard.
Well, just his first ability, or just his first default skin at least.
Yeah, it just looks a bit nah. So yeah, it looks like it could do with a bit more.
Okay, good point.
Let's have a look.
We'll take one more, then we'll go ahead and jump into our giveaway and head out, just in case my mic is on the way out.
Okay, so let's go. How do you feel about the changes to the actives? Is this the Blink meta?
Oh, with the changes to Blink that we saw.
Yeah, and other stuff like that. I know Hi-Rez said they wanted actives to be powerful and more powerful than abilities, obviously, and useful and stuff. But there's some Blink changes, like the change for the cripple, I don't like. And did I retire from Cash Candy?
I just read that. I was like, yeah.
I knew you sniggered from that.
Yeah.
But no, Blink meta. Everybody loves Blink. Blink's such a good thing, especially with the such low cooldown now. It's like, well, why not? Just shoot. I'd probably get Blink on quite a lot of things now. Just one defensive ability, and then one Blink could be quite good.
Yeah.
And also,
people are saying Blink is OP. Well, not after this past patch because of the adjustments that they made for people that are using Blink in a defensive escape method. Blink can still be complained about as being OP when it comes down to tanks. You'll see tanks getting Blink all the time to be a little bit more aggressive and being able to initiate even better, especially somebody like an Ares or your Mirror to blink in and stun or blink in and ultimate. I think it's great. I like that on a tank because tanks are so slow in the first place. I feel like you can kind of anticipate every one of their abilities coming, especially when they push a lane. So I'm kind of happy that we did see the no changes being made to that, just the combat Blink. I think they'll stick with this for a while though.
Yeah, the initiate Blink's like such low cooldown as well. It's mad.
Which one do you prefer, Blink or combat Blink? If I'm playing a tank, I prefer Blink because of the decreased cooldown. If I'm playing a mage or someone squishy and I need the escape, combat Blink.
Yeah, it's definitely dependent on the roles you play. And just a quick one as well. Baby Boom asks, what's the secret to becoming a better YouTuber, or streamer or YouTuber? Being consistent. Finding like little niches, like for obviously doing regular stuff. Like every day you want to put stuff up. I am terrible. I have not put anything up for like a month. But that'll also hurt me quite a bit that I won't get as many regular viewers as I used to.
Sure.
So you want to keep regular and try and find stuff other people aren't doing. Like gameplay footage, everybody's doing. You only want that as like filler content. Like guides are good because that gets people onto the channel, and then you have the gameplays just to kind of keep them there and stuff. So that's just a little thing to look at. And then regular thing for streaming, same time every day. Set your days and always be there on time because people will then tune into you like watching a TV show.
Yeah. I mean, I can't really comment as much with YouTube. My YouTube does not do very well, at least what I think it should with the amount of content I put out over there. But with streaming side, I can comment on a little bit more. I'm not where I wanted to be after a year of casting Smite or streaming Smite. I'm almost there. Almost there. I want to get to 100 viewers constantly on streaming Smite, and I'm almost there. But I got a decent amount of viewers. As we can see tonight, we're right around 70. And my goal, I mean, the thing that I can recommend for people, as Wristy had talked about, was consistency and something different. For me, it's podcast. No one else in the scene right now is doing podcasts to the amount that I do them. 2 nights a week I do podcast. 1 night a week I do casting. That leaves me with just a few days left in the week to have real life stuff. So, yeah, for me, it's podcasting. It seems to be working out so far for me. There aren't many shows in the scene just yet that offer a video version on Twitch, a YouTube version, a iTunes version, and also an Android version. So pretty much every outlet's covered. You kind of have to find your niche. It's very difficult for a new streamer to come on to Twitch and go, streaming ranked games. Well, everybody knows all the high-level competitive players. They're going to go watch them to see ranked games. It's kind of hard to watch a new player on ranked. So you kind of have to find something different, something that you're doing different that no one else is doing. You know.
And the first 10 like consistent viewers are the hardest ones to get because once they get in, like you get a couple of people. Once the chat room starts getting used, people will stay around for a bit longer, and that's definitely the big milestone. There'll be a lot of time you'll be sitting there talking to nobody. There'll be nobody there.
Yeah, once you get 10 consistent viewers, you're set, good to go, and things grow from there. Because keep in mind, when people join into your channel and there's some conversation going on in chat, they're more likely to stay. Versus something like they join into chat and there's nothing going on. It's like, oh, I'm just going to move on. So take your time, though. It could take weeks, if not months, to get over the different plateaus and humps and milestones for streaming. But once you do, it's definitely it's definitely reassuring, which is nice.
Yeah,
once you get to that.
It's cool. Yeah, it's. I forgot where I was going to go with that one. No, fine. I had something and then forgot it. Oh well.
That's okay. Well, guys, we're going to go ahead and do the giveaway. Before I do, those of you guys that don't actually play Smite yet, don't have it downloaded, have checked this out just because you're interested or you've a follower of my stream from another game, make sure that you guys go over to smitegame.com. You can play Smite completely for free. And without further ado, let me go ahead and get up the information for the giveaway. In the meantime, Wristy, where can people find you when you're not on the Smite Update?
Everything is Wristy UK, so youtube.com Wristy UK, Twitter @Wristy UK, and twitch.tv/Wristy UK. Very easy to find me.
All right, good deal, guys. Right before we do the giveaway, I want to let you guys know you can check me out. Everything you need to know for me, what I do in the scene, my schedule, giveaway schedule, bio, sponsors, all that. Go check it out over at OctaneProGaming.com. Once again, OctaneProGaming.com. And, yeah, follow me on Twitter. Make sure you follow me on Twitter because I do tweet every time I go live or that I do a giveaway. Well, guys, the giveaway code for tonight is going to be a free set, once again, of Tweaked Audio earbuds. So the giveaway code will be Tweaked Audio. One word. Go ahead and post that in chat, and we'll go ahead and select one of you guys to be the winner by random draw.
Yeah, there's another thing as well. The fact I was thinking for the streamers is you got to remember there's not a very large pool base for viewers. It's not like 100,000 for StarCraft and all that stuff.
Oh,
you've probably only got like a few thousand to actually get from. So it's percentage based. You're always going to have a lot lower viewers. But if you can kind of get your time now. I don't stream just at the minute. I'm in the process of getting everything sorted out for streaming, which I should actually do.
That's right. When the game takes off, you're going to see a huge difference. Because right now, if you go out to Twitch and you go to what's going on Twitch and you go ahead and look and see, Smite's currently at 2,300 viewers. Well, when the game goes live and is a little more successful, has a bigger player base, you could see that double or triple or quadruple. I mean, League of Legends up to 52,000. I'm not saying we're going to see Smite there anytime soon, but there's no reason I see why we don't have Smite around the 20,000 mark 6 months after the game goes live, the way it's been going right now. Alrighty, well, let's see here. Wristy, what time do you stream in the U.S. East Coast?
I've got to figure out what 8 o'clock is in GMT.
8 o'clock in GMT is 1 a.m. 8 o'clock p.m.?
8 o'clock p.m., yeah.
Yeah, it's 1 o'clock your time. GMT. Because we go live at 8:30 p.m. Eastern, which is 1 o'clock a.m. GMT. So you just
I was thinking 8 o'clock as in GMT to EST. So 8 o'clock would be the other way around. So it's what's the difference? Like 5 hours or something, isn't it?
6 hours.
6 hours. So 8 o'clock would be 2 in the afternoon.
Yeah, which there's
about 3 hours.
Plenty of people on. I'm on at work. I watch people at work.
Yeah.
Anyways, guys, let's go ahead and do this giveaway. I'm going to go ahead and count it down in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Congratulations to Pyrotis, Pyrotis. You have 1 minute to post in chat, sir. You want to test the stream tomorrow? Oh, you're going to test the stream tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, so you have 1 minute to post in chat. I would play Hearthstone if I had the beta key to it, but I don't.
It's big because obviously it's very based off WoW, and WoW's got like nearly 10 million people that play it. And the fact that it's actually a really good game, the way they've done it, because it's not like pay to win. You can buy the booster cards, but there's no real trading in the game. Everything's like self-sustained. Everybody's got what they've got, and they can't go, here, have a load of powerful cards and give it to somebody else. You have to earn everything.
Yep. Yep. Okay, it looks like he did respond in chat. Congratulations to him. So chat knows, where are you located? What country are you currently located in? I will ask you to please go ahead and send me a private message on Twitch with your home mailing address. It isn't shared out or anything. I don't need your name, just home mailing address. Send me a private message on Twitch. Click my name, go to private message, and send me that, and I will send that off to Tweaked Audio, and they'll get it sent out to you, sir. Also, in that private message, let me know what set of earbuds you want off of tweakedaudio.com. So go over to tweakedaudio.com and post over the, and look at what different earbuds they have, and let me know. You can have any one you want, sir. Any one you want. Alrighty, Wristy, I think it's now time to head out. Thank you, folks, for joining us. And Wristy and I will see you next Monday at 8:30 p.m. for another episode of the Smite Update. See you guys then.
See ya. Bye.